We have an active role within the community. The staff participate in that, and during the course of the year we like to give something back. One of the biggest challenges I have is clearly I sit in the background, I have a business plan and I have a focus on what I'm doing, but it's about the staff then bringing it to life. We have a national support in terms of Help for Heroes, which links in quite nicely with Borden being a garrison town. We do a lot of work in terms of we support the local primary schools throughout the year and the local preschool nurseries and try to engage the children there. This year we sponsored both of their respective school sports days. We're currently sponsoring the local Headley Football Club with their football training tops, which goes right the way through a number of groups. We did a hog roast over the Jubilee weekend. So it's about putting something back in to the locality, and it's about bringing the staff into that role as well. Clearly in a small area like ours, the staff all come from and are local people. And it's absolutely keen that they see that the business has a life on its own and that the business is part of the community. And again, you come right the way back, is the one thing with the post office is to the majority of the population, soft, touchy-feely, and people want it, need it, like it, and now what we've got to do is put the bells and whistles onto it. One of the key things that we found is giving the business a real life, taking it into the community. So over the last 12 months, just as a few examples, we've had Bertie Bassett and one of the staff dressed up, and we took him over to the local preschool nurseries and they had an opportunity to meet him. It's the real getting in there and bringing it to life. That in turn also helps helps us become more successful, not just in our own store, but it brings to life the parade that we're on, so that it helps and supports the hairdressers, it helps and supports the Chinese takeaway. And again, it's imperative to actually get them to participate in that and make us a destination that people want to come to.
Well, as a local business, we do support the local charities, the schools, the church, etc. We have had in the past, on a fairly regular basis, primary school children coming round to visit the post office, and they see how it works, and we give them a little questionnaire and things like that, which is always quite well received. For the last few years, we've been doing a work experience thing with a couple of the schools where we have a student in for a week, and Chris and myself take some time to sort of work with them and show them different aspects of the job, not only the retail side, but computer work. We're dealing with predominantly local people and their repeat business, and so I think it's important to be seen to be contributing, towards the local community as such.
We noticed the sort of visual aspect when we walked up to the shop. You've obviously done a lot outside that makes a good impression.
Put signs, I came to an agreement with the Red Line, because they've got a massive car park that's underutilised in the day when I'm open, and then it's utilised at night when they're busiest. So I just said to them, can my customers use your car park? They went, yeah, no problem. So in return, I advertise their stuff.
Right.
In return, the local community guys are grateful to them for letting them use their car park. And we don't get all double parked, because unfortunately the do-gooders around here have put surrounded me in double yellow lines, which could kill everything stone dead. So we had to think. I did that straight away, because having lived here, there's nowhere to park. You could park over in the doctor's surgery, but people have got to get as close as possible. So that was just a mutual arrangement with them.
And the other thing we noticed is lots of community involvement. Obviously you've got the board out there with the coffee morning, and you've got a whole board here allocated to local community
Yes,
things.
I think it's
Is that
important.
really important?
I do. Business I've always been self-employed, so is my husband. Advertising locally is always good, but when you're self-employed, everything costs money.
Right.
So if it's cheap, I charge £6 a month for a poster and cards.
Right.
And I've had people that have advertised me since I've opened and put it up there, so it's worked.
Yes.
All local things advertised free.
Right.
If somebody wants to advertise themselves for doing housework or ironing, I don't charge them for that, because that's not a company as such, that's just pin money. But if it's a business and they're going to make money out of it, then yes, I do charge them, but it seems to work, and everyone puts their local posters up and stuff.
If
Individuals living in a community want to feel loyal towards local traders. They want to feel that they can give business to somebody who's made a business for themselves. So the more you involve yourself, the more they feel loyal, they know who you are, they know what you're about. So, you know, organising things in the community, like I said, with things like Halloween, do a colouring competition, at Christmas time, you know, maybe there's a Santa's grotto in your stall. It really depends on the space that you've got and what's appropriate for your community, but I definitely think community and getting involved is key to being a successful local retailer.
A great thing to do is get behind all the community events. And we can talk about all sorts of events. We talked about Christmas. So there's those things which are just going to drive you profit. But actually local events, and some of the best retailers that I know, they will be doing firework displays. But they'll be selling the tickets in their shop. You know, so it comes around. Some of the best guys that I know that have post offices, they might be doing things like actually picking up prescriptions from the next village down. There's so much you can do within that community, and that's that trust again. And why would you go anywhere else? If you've got somebody that's selling everything you want, that has good prices, that goes the extra mile, then you wouldn't go anywhere else. So the community is massive. And I think the shop is very much part of that. The post office is very much part of that. You've also got a church and a pub, and you know there's other things, but we form very much part of that community. And also you've got to think about community likes to think of like microeconomies. And certainly in a recession, people like to keep the money that you have within the local area. And this is something that all stores could think about, because actually this is why people prefer, you know, and their hearts are with the local shop, because actually you know you're helping somebody in the community. You're part of that community. So yeah, you can't talk enough about the importance of that.
Community involvement for us is very, very big in our store, especially where the family comes involved, because we've got 3 generations out here now. We work with the local police, we host police caravans outside the store for neighbourhood watch meetings, we work with our local councillor, which is very, very important to us. Because if you get that right and get on the right side of your councillor, he'll do all your marketing for free. We talk to our local schools. We put something on for the SATS exam. We put a breakfast club offering on for them. Again, it's free marketing, because the kids will say to the mum and daddy, I've been to Malcolm's. Malcolm's have put our breakfast club on today. So again, it goes on the newsletter, it goes on the emails that goes out.